All right, and we are live again with part two of the Secret of Mana, 2018 edition. Just like before, I'm Aller Zero. Uh, Last time we left off was right at the end of the opening part of the game, where we had just finished defeating the Jabberwocky, and were lauded as the heroes who need to go out and find the rest of the palaces and save the world. So, without further ado,
I'll heal you. Would you like to save the game?
no,
I
not really.
believe you can become a true hero. You must never lose hope.
Oh my. I'm huge now. No. Okay, that's a little better. So anyway, as I was
I
saying,
have business with Sage Luca, so go ahead without...
we are on our way to Upperland. I figured that would be a good place to stop the last broadcast because it's the first major leg of the game. So from here out, the goal is to get to hopefully the Vandal Empire. And I know that's kind of a stretch, but I'll see what I can do about getting this into, you know, a reasonable time period. So first things first, after you have been congratulated as the hero of ages and all that jazz, let's see, I already did that. Already did that. We got one orb from the Jabberwocky, but I'm not super concerned with dealing with any of that. So I'm just going to head straight to Upperland and get this game back on track. Really hoping we'll get some people in the chat. That way I'm not just talking to myself the whole time. But I'll try to keep it topical as I go, because as much as I've played this game, I should have a decent bit of lore and knowledge about it. So anytime somebody pops in, I'll say hello and kind of play it by ear, I guess. So now, the cannon travel guy next to Photos Village, which is where we started our little journey.
Special offer just for you. Only 50 GP to any of these destinations.
Let's take a trip to Upperland.
The upper land covers a lot. I could get you to the Great Forest, but that's it. Just pop yourself into the barrel.
And away we go.
So this is the Great Forest. You lived around here, right? Glad to be home, huh?
Oh no! I hit my head again when we landed and I have forgotten the way.
Lovely. I suppose we should look around ourselves. Oh, look! It's laughing!
Not laughing, crying. Pebblers have taken over their village.
Hey, hey! Nice to see somebody pop in. Who is that? Don't be afraid, say hi. Oh, and coincidentally, here's Watts.
Hey, what gives? You left without saying a word.
I didn't mean it, bro, I promise.
Guess now's as good a time as any to branch out and hone my skills. Gotta see how you handle that sword. I've been waiting. Which weapon is ready for reforging?
I have one in here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Oh, the bow as well. Alright. So, anyway. Let's go deal with this Pebbler crisis, since that seems to be the only task on hand. This is another one of those songs from the original that I feel translated over pretty decently. It's a nice rendition, doesn't really do anything to put me off immediately. Oh my god, we're gonna die. Other than Secret of Mana 2, I've seldom seen a more aggressive variety of Rabite. I remember the first time I got here when I played through the remake on my own, I was kind of surprised at how aggressive these things can be. Crabs not so much, but the rat, what the heck are these things called? Silktails are muchly powerful for this part of the game. Ow. What are you using? No. On the whip for a while. And like I said when I first started this, anytime you get into combat, anytime you run into enemies, do not shirk the responsibility. You must rid the world of them. It'll benefit you in the long run because you'll seldom ever really run out of money. And in general, it's just good practice. And you know, another thing I never really noticed when I used to play this game, but have since the remake because I was paying more attention to it, and I'm older now. The Secret of Mana does a very good job of keeping you, of preparing you for new enemies by slowly introducing them to you over the course of the game. Like the water bandits, I think they're called now. Yeah. Water bandits. The first time you see these guys start showing up is when the water palace is under attack. So you see them, and you get one to deal with, and then when you get to Upper Land, they're everywhere. They're you know, more common enemies. And that'll be a trend going through the game as we progress. Alright, so about that pebbler problem. Fun fact, these guys are called mole bears in the sequel, Secret of Mana 2. They're one of those enemies that tend to have fairly high evade. Not exactly a ton of HP, but enough to make you cautious at this point in the game. And so, new to the Upper Lands.
Come back to the village.
We are once again the heroes. Aha.
My head.
What is it?
Wow! Now I can remember everything. Tour through the seasons from spring to winter. Once you reach spring again, the village will appear.
I love how they completely butchered the original rhyme for that, but I'll let it pass.
I've been waiting. Which weapon is ready for reforging?
Nothing. Oh, hey, look who it is. Our favorite cheapskate cat. More weapon orbs than we know how to shake a stick at.
Going on a trip? I'm taking advantage of this perfect weather myself. Special deal for busy travelers. I'll even save the game from you.
And he's not... Oh, yes, he is. He's selling the quill cap. Nothing for our intrepid hero, though. He's still wearing the headgear from before. And we already have the Cobra bracelet, so...
Anything else? Be seeing you.
And let's go through those weapon orbs taken care of.
I've been waiting.
Isn't one of them a glove orb? No. Axe orb. Alright, so now that we are
Going on a
where we need to be.
special deal for busy travelers.
Alright, so they gave us a little bit of a riddle, so let's go do that. They said, walk the seasons, spring to winter, spring again, and we can end. That's the original rhyme from the US version of Secret of Mana. I don't know if that was a mistranslation or a clever translation or what, because I know they tended to do that back in the day, but I like the rhyme more than just the statement. Because it doesn't insult our intelligence by assuming we don't know how to interpret it. So let's see, this section of the forest that we're in, oh jeez. This section of the forest that we're in is summer. So what we need to do is find spring and start from there. Or wait, is this? Yeah, this is summer. Everything must die, no exceptions. Just got some time to go on that. Wait, did I? Here's me getting, forgetting what I was supposed to be doing. We can switch. Is that Sarah in here? I think that's Sarah. How's it going, girl? Anyway. So what we need to do is go back to spring. The spring section, new life and all that, is pink. Pretty pink. And we don't actually have to hang around, we just need to walk through the seasons in the correct order. But because of my bloodlust and, you know, need to see combat through to the bitter end, I will do what I usually do and murder all the rabbis in this forest. Everybody throws fireball on me. Oh hey, you know what I forgot to do? No. Oh, she's in the middle of an attack. Always remember to equip your armor, folks. It helps if you're wearing it. Just having it for show doesn't really do much. It helps to wear it. Alright, so anyway. Spring. Summer. I love how frequent traps are.
Takes more than that.
Hey, get back here, girl. You wander off on your own and die. You feel bad.
Healing power of Undine! Pure water!
And you see what I mean about her magic replacing your healing items for the most part. Her Cure Water heals for almost triple what a candy does for 2 MP to the entire party. So at the very least, if there's ever a spell that you want to take care of, it's Undine for her, because that is her most important element, or her most important function outside of some of the other more interesting things that she can do. And on we go to fall. These owls are absolutely terrifying looking in this game. Like they've been doing way too much cocaine on the weekends. She finished that pretty quick. How about we give her... Wait, did I finish mine too? Nope. Confusion, by the way, is a terrible status affliction in older games. It can range anywhere from reversing your controls in action RPGs to making you attack your enemies to, in some games I've seen, just completely randomizing all the buttons on your controller. I can't remember off the top of my head which one that was, but I'm pretty sure it was a PS2 game that they did that in. Totally randomizes all the buttons on your controller, so you can't ever be sure of what the buttons are when you're going to use them. Real quick. And again, I have to point out how beautiful the scenery is, and in addition, and put that in addition to the fact that it is a one-to-one recreation of the entire original game, which is just awesome. Do you have that level 4 Thunder Saber? These are another enemy that became relatively toothless in the remake because of how the game's mechanics play out. These crabs, that weird spinning attack that they have with their claw, used to come off a lot faster, and it had more priority as far as hitboxes and such. It doesn't seem to have that same priority anymore in the remake. So it's not as big a deal to even be near them most of the time as it used to be. And let's see, we are in winter now, so all it should take is us heading back to spring to complete the little mini quest that we're on. Bro, what are you doing? Better me than anyone else. Oh, Lord. I lied. Put it on someone else. They don't feel it. Seems to me that we've accomplished our goal. So back to spring means back to the task at hand, which is figuring out where Sprite's village is. Right, get away from him. Him. That's another thing I noticed about the remake. Because of the way that the player's AI works, your companions will go through leveling up weapons far faster than you will usually, because they're quicker on the trigger. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something to...
Whoa, what's going on? The village is in shambles.
You'd never notice.
What happened here? Hey, there's something there.
Hey, hey, welcome, welcome. Don't be a stranger, say hi in the chat. Yes, thank you for the not Mickey Mouse balloon. As you pelt the entire party with magic.
Pure water. Thanks.
Axebeak is actually one of the more dangerous early on enemies because he's one of those that spams magic. If it gets to the point where it's necessary, two can play that game. Hey, what's up, Chris? Oh my god, confusion. Die. Axebeak is such a weird enemy. He's like not quite he's not a chocobo, but he's still a bird with no wings. Oh, gotcha. He's still a bird with no wings, but he can cast magic like mad. This one's all about that wind magic, which should give you a vague hint as to what we're going to be seeing soon enough. Boomerang orb this time. Oh, we got sad music. That's usually a bad sign. Hey, check it out. Another palace.
Grandpa!
Wait. That sounds like... Is that you, little one?
Grandpa, what's wrong? Can't you see me?
It was the Empire. Their troops attacked us and undid the Wind Seal. I was lucky to be in the palace at the time. A bright flash took out my sight. But the others...
How terrible!
No! No! Everyone must have gotten away safely.
Let us hope.
Grandpa! Hang in there!
Yeah, don't die, old man.
Listen closely, little one. We sprites are dependent on the power of mana. But humans are breaking the seals on the seeds. If they succeed, the beast of old will be released again. If mana disappears, we sprites will vanish right along with it. You can't let that happen.
Okay. I'll protect Mana so that everyone can return to the village. Don't worry. I've got a couple underlings that can help.
That's the spirit. If it weren't for my eyes, I'd offer to help. All I can do is offer the services of my Sylphid, the wind elemental. Come, Sylphid.
You called, Master?
I'm entrusting you to these youngsters. They're your new masters now.
As you wish.
Use Analyzer to learn what elemental magic works on each crystal orb. Use your magic on the orb in this forest to open a pathway to Matango. There, you must head north to the cave of the White Dragon.
Do subquest.
You need that legendary dragon's help if you want to protect Mana. Now go. Do not worry about me. I'll be safe if I stay here in the palace.
Everyone will be back soon, Grandpa. Me included.
If you get tired, come back here to rest at any time. That's all I can do for you. Here, let's get you patched up. Shall I save the game?
Like I said, the palace, or some of the palaces, not all of them, make for good makeshift bed and bath. So, first things first, let's get the seed sealed up. And like I said, that brings our mana power to 3, so now we can get our spell levels up a little bit. And of course, first and foremost among those is going to be Prim's Undine, because it's probably the most important one in the game. And for our little buddy Popoi, I don't know. All Sylphid spells are 2 MP, but Gnome has one that's 1, so I guess I'll start with that. Everything in Upperland seems relatively weak to Gnome mostly anyway, so it's not a bad place to start. It's always so depressing down here.
Your turn, Gnome. Healing power of Undine.
Die.
Speed down.
Remedy.
Your turn, Gnome. Water. Speed down.
Remedy.
Crumble. Healing power of Undine.
Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to cast that on myself.
Remedy.
Crumble. Speed down. Water. Crumble.
Remedy.
Down. Your turn, Gnome. Water.
That's my Joplin.
Down.
Remedy.
Your turn, Gnome. Speed down. Healing power of Undine. Crumble.
Remedy.
Down. Crumble.
Ow.
Speed down. Water.
Remedy.
Crumble. Speed down. Water. Your turn, Gnome.
Remedy.
Speed down. Your turn, Gnome.
Ow.
Water. Down.
Remedy.
Crumble. Speed down. Your turn, Gnome. Down. Crumble. Speed down. Your turn, Gnome. Speed down. Crumble. Speed down. Healing power of Undine.
Ow.
Remedy.
Down.
Oh, right. I'm
Healing
down.
power of Undine.
Remedy.
Healing power of Undine.
Remedy.
It's not similar. They literally hijacked this game's engine to make Kingdom Hearts. And it still bothers me sometimes and keeps me up at night wondering if they hadn't done the partnership with Disney to make Kingdom Hearts, would I have gotten another decent mana game, you know, with much more budget? I doubt it, because, you know, Square being Square and them doing the things that they do sometimes, but it's nice to dream, you know? And the really crazy thing about it is, they did use this game's engine and everything that they
Shall I save the game?
that they learned from making these games to make the Kingdom Hearts series. And the Kingdom Hearts series are great action, great action RPGs in their own right, but they were never multiplayer, which I always kind of wondered why, given that it's this game's engine. Hey, Pixel Ramen, how you doing? I don't know if you're cool with me saying your name or not, but... But yeah, that's one of the things that I always wondered about, you know, in the dark recesses of my mind. Alright, so that's leveled up. Gnome has Analyzer. Looking for the things that don't kill the enemies. Okay.
Remedy.
Well, in that case, I'll just call you Miko and be done with it.
Remedy.
Honestly, a co-op RPG, I'd be willing to play whoever most times. And everybody has their kind of type. I mean, there's the warrior types, there's the defensive types, there's the offensive types, there's mages, and I mean, even among our friends, we have people who tend to gravitate toward those roles. Like, look at how it was when we played Final Fantasy XIV. I played the tank because I like taking it in the face. I mean, what? Tanner played the mage because he likes, you know, keeping away from the enemies and not getting absolutely run over by everybody. You and Miko played DPS. You were ranged. She was close up. I mean, everybody has their particular thing that they dig. Oh wait, this is level 3. What am I doing?
Remedy.
No. Oh my god, you freaking battle-hungry monsters. Stop it. I mean, I suppose I could just turn them off, but... if I'm quicker on the trigger than they are, then they can't really do much. He's out of MP, but she's not. And Donald was the mage in Kingdom Hearts, right? Goofy was kind of your tank character, Sora was your DPS, and Donald was the mage. Is that how that worked? I know at some point I'm going to have to stop lying to myself and actually play the Kingdom Hearts series. Yes, that's my guilty confession. No, I don't care. Funny thing is, we, between Miko and I, we own all the games.
Shall I save the game?
Just never had the heart to sit down and play them because I'm still salty about what they did to my series. Alright there, Edgemeister. Spamming magic for fun and profit. Oh. That burns with his magic already? Yes, I did. Yeah, it's definitely paid the bills for Disney for the better part of, what, 20 years? And Kingdom Hearts, or Square Enix as well, because they've staunchly profited on it. I almost wonder if that's why they took so long to make Kingdom Hearts 3, is because they knew that the cash cow would probably start grinding to a screech once they finally ended the story. Let's see, what's another good action adventure series or action RPG series that I could play on stream? I should do the Yi series at some point, huh? I mean, you can at least give him this much. Kingdom Hearts made Sephiroth actually seem like a decent boss. My 2 cents on the matter.
Take this! Win! Analyzer!
Make it something easier to control. And now I can abuse the crab at my leisure. Yeah, I know. Ow, oh, god damn it. Alright, bash his brains in. Hey, out of curiosity, how's the quality on my stream look? Because it looks kind of questionable on my side.
Here, let's get... Shall I save the game? Take care.
That's another thing that they seem to have fixed from the original game is, from a targeting perspective, when you were playing Secret of Mana before, the bottom of the screen used to be a little further down, so it was hard to target enemies that were where your player's bar were. Well, okay, that's good to know. And I'm missing that, and I should go outside and take a look. It was really gorgeous last night. Oh no, you don't kill a monster.
Analyzer, win. Analyzer.
Oh lord!
I'm ready.
I'm done with Sulfid. I don't know how I missed that, but...
Here, let's get you, Pat. Shall I save the game? Take care.
I'm really gonna have to start limiting myself on how much I do this on screen, because I know just watching me wander back and forth between the same 3 or 4 screens leveling up magic is gonna get old. At least with the weapons I can push through the game and just do it as I kill enemies. Magic, though, is one of those things that you kinda can't do, because if you get into trouble and you run out of magic, it's gonna end badly for you.
Defender.
Oh my god. Hey, he's off. Actually, didn't she level up one of her things as well? Yeah, she finished the axe. Did he finish the whip? He did finish the whip. Wow. There he is.
Protect us, Gnome. Defender.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I walked into him and took all that damage. You know... Really? Okay, this is starting to get out of hand.
Takes more than that.
What in the hell? I guess we got the crabs just now. One nice thing about having a heal slave on hand is don't have to worry about resurrecting people. Yes, he broke my knife. And Popoy's soul, apparently.
Here, let's get you pat. Shall I save the game?
We'll just pretend that never happened.
Take care.
You know, another game I'm going to have to play on stream at some point is Castlevania Lament of Innocence. That's another one I've been meaning to go back to for a while. Feels more like it feels more like an action RPG than it does a Castlevania at times, because the platforming's kind of meh. But the game's engine is absolutely fantastic. Rabbits appearing out of thin air. Silktails appearing out of thin air. Really tired of the status afflictions. Finally. That leaves you with... Actually, you know what? We're gonna do this the Lich kind of way. When you can kill without a thought.
Come on, Undine! Protect us, Gnome! Energy absorb! Defender! Come on, Undine! Protect us, Gnome!
And yeah, his energy absorb is no joke after a while. Ow.
Come on, Undine! Energy absorb!
Suck soul out of you. That's another thing that's kind of weird about this is the weird delay in the magic. And another thing that's changed about this version of the game to the previous version that I completely forgot to mention until a second ago when it came back to my mind. In the original version of Secret of Mana, you could effectively use Cure Water to override damage that the enemies would do to you. Because of the way that magic queues in this game now, you can't do that anymore.
Protect us, Gnome!
And that is an interesting little tidbit to keep in mind for later, because it actually becomes very relevant later on in the game. Alright, so she's done. Little buddy still got a ways to go. Don't worry, as soon as I get done with this, it's right back to plowing through the story, because we won't get another mana seed for kind of a while. And again, notice I'm not really using magic as very much. That is by design.
Here,
I'm trying to
let's
go
get
through
you-
this game without
Shall I save the
absolutely
game?
abusing the system and destroying all the enemies as a result.
Take care.
Granted, you can't whole hog abuse the magic in the game until after the Gold Palace, I believe. No, not the Gold Palace. The Moon Palace. Because when you get to the Moon Palace, you get Luna, the Moon Elemental, and Luna's got kind of a neat ability for the sprite that allows him to effectively have infinite magic. So there's that.
Energy absorb! Come on, Undine!
The only thing he doesn't have a way to do is transfer that MP to Prim, which if he did, that would be incredible. I one-shot enemies because I can. Oh my god.
Energy absorb! Come on, Undine! Come on, Undine!
Since she's done, I can set her back to the water. Die!
Energy absorb!
You'll get to like him more as you see more of him over the course of the game. He's something. Finally. Alright, let's get on with this. Alright, so I promise here and now that I will not stop again to level up spells until we hit the Empire. How's that? Then again, when we get to the Empire, we'll need it, so I definitely will stop at that point.
Here, let's get you patched. Shall I save the game?
No, these are their default names. Boy's name is Randy, the girl's name is Prim, and the sprite's name is Popoy. Oh, wait. Good Lord. Do something. Why are you little freaks so violent? Okay, so as our grandfather told us to do. Oh, hello. Alright, almost forgot about the caterpillars. Crawlers. Oh, since we're also discussing differences from the previous version, there's a compendium now, the guide, that'll actually give you a list of all the characters that you meet. That also includes monsters and weapons. I didn't really mention it before, I just used it. As you pass through the game, make sure that you're checking on this if you're trying to get the platinum, because there are some monsters that you can flat out miss if you don't go into certain areas of the game. Most of them are toward the end, so I'll try and point them out to you specifically, and the bosses you obviously can't miss because you run into every single one of them. But some of the regular enemies you can't, it is possible to miss. And one of them is actually going to be coming up after we get out of Upperland. As far as the people characters, I don't think you can really miss anybody because you do run into everybody over the course of the game. She just looks so depressed. And of course, one of our nemeses right here. But anyway, we have a crystal orb. So we don't know what kind of magic to cast, even though I'm sure some of you might have a sinking suspicion. So we will use Analyzer.
Analyzer!
Now, as the girl has no attack magic, we're going to rely on our buddy over here. And now the way forward is open.
Takes more than that. Ha!
Enemies from off-screen casting sleep on my party. Why are you not attacking?
I'm ready!
Okay, what hit me just now?
Try to stop me!
Guys. Oh, there was one back there. Got it.
Takes more than that.
I want to say one of that. Oh my god. I will say, however, as far as the traps go in the Mana series, the traps in this game are tame by comparison to the stuff that you're going to see when I get around to playing Secret of Mana 2. Because the traps in Secret of Mana 2 are meant to be death sentences for the most part. And that's not even including the actual death trap that you can get in this game and that game.
Takes more than that.
Hey, die over there. And their claw attack also used to have much wider range than it does in this game. I know you're out there, Crawler. Where are you?
Takes more than that.
Try to stop me.
Is that who I think it is? Mike? Yeah, it's been a while, man. How you doing? If you tend to hang out on Twitch a lot, I'd appreciate it if you throw me a subscribe. Or at the very least, a follow. Status afflictions.
Healing power of Remedy.
Well, that's good to hear. You playing anything interesting these days? Oh, my bad. Actually, wait, yeah, I do remember you hopping into one of my streams before. That's right. I just see people so infrequently sometimes, and I streamed so infrequently before, I guess it slipped my mind. But I do appreciate it nonetheless. You remember back in the days we used to play this? You know what? I'll do that.
Takes more than that.
Try to stop me.
Oh, no you don't. Alright, oh yes you do. Yet another one of those spawner monsters, because why not? Kimono birds are interesting. They're not super dangerous on their own. I mean, they can cast some wind magic, but generally all they do is spawn pebblers for you to get in the way. Yep, just did. Nobody has this sword, huh? Rats. Yeah, I was just about to say, I noticed you were streaming Ragnarok Mobile not too long ago. That's pretty cool.
Unlike our cousins the Mushbooms, we're a peaceful tribe.
We're just not equipped for fighting. There's no way we can defeat the monsters in the northern cave.
What's Epic 7 out of
I'm
curiosity?
sure King Truffle would be willing to help you.
Metango means hello in our native Metangese.
The trees of the forest are restless of late. Is this a bad omen?
Oh, and by the way, in case anybody was wondering, this is another one of the songs that I'm super salty about.
Means goodbye.
Because the original was just so much better.
This is Fun Castle, home of King Truffle.
Alright, so as the intrepid adventurers we are, first stop should always be to the item shop to see what the new wares of the area are.
Welcome.
They have some really bizarre sounding equipment in this game. Fancy overalls that looks like a clown suit. And then the steel cap for the boy to round out the headgear set. And since we actually have money now, I'm going to make sure that our items are topped off. And Fung Castle is actually the first area in the game that you can start buying fairy walnuts for their normal price, which is 500 gold. So I'll buy 4 of those and 2 chocolates. And that would actually put me up to being full as far as the original game was concerned for items, because the cap used to be 4. It's 12 now, so I'm not going to blow my load on buying all these out to 12, because I'm probably not going to use items much anyway, but
Anything else?
I at least want to keep myself where I know I should be. So first things first, let's equip that beautiful armor that we just bought. I'm doing this so long. And with that, we leave behind all the remnants of the lower part of the continent. So goodbye Cobra Band. Goodbye Spiky Suit and Kung Fu Dress. And goodbye Ribbon, Headgear, and Rabbi Cap.
Anything else? Come again.
Next stop is the interior of the castle, because all the fun stuff's right on in here. If I didn't know better, I'd swear Watts was a stalker or
I
something.
figured you'd stop by here. I've been waiting. Which...
Chocolate goes to level 3. And that's it for all those weapons. And before we do anything else, let's go save and oh, fun fact, you actually won't see cutscenes if you sleep at this inn, because they have no table for them to sit down and converse at. Alright, let's go see the king, since that seems to be where everything's pointing us.
It's you! You're here at long last. Nice to meet you, legendary hero. Huh? Don't play dumb.
You think we don't know the legends up here? A hero of great might, with sword upon shoulder. He rides upon the wings of a white dragon, and so shall save the world. That's you guys, right? I recognized you right away. Just yesterday, one of my people saw a white dragon fighting a huge snake in the cave north of here. Sounds like the prophecy hit the nail on the head. Use the first floor exit on the right to get to the cave. The palace? Yeah, I know where it is, but the prophecy says that you find the cave first. I'll tell you how to reach the palace afterward. Come on, get going!
Okay.
Oh, wait! According to legend, there's something for you heroes in the treasure chest upstairs.
And then you gotta wonder why they have all this stuff just lying around.
Aha!
King Truffle has done a splendid job taking over for the departed king of old. However, he is a bit reckless. It's hard to keep up with him.
Took your time. I've been waiting.
Alright, so back to work. We have, let's see, giant snake to go kill. So let's go do that. Still wonder how it is they have access to level 4 magic at this point in the game. Ow. Man, they want me to go to that deep sleep. I want everybody to go to that deep sleep. Stay away from her.
Try to stop me.
Hey Mike, you still there? That's a name I haven't seen before. Skinny Seahorse. Welcome to the chat. I hadn't seen you say anything, but if you're still hanging around, feel free to give me a shout out and say hi. Really? LD player, interesting. I'll have to check that out. I've heard of Nox, I've never tried it. I'll definitely have to check those out at some point. I'll probably check your stream out at some point to get a feel for what Ragnarok Mobile looks like. I'm still disappointed that there's never really been a good sequel to Ragnarok Online. Guys, come on, stairs. They're common. Yeah, well, I use Discord. Yeah, my name on Discord's the same as just about every other social media platform, so if you can find me here, you can find me everywhere. Wow. Thank you for the fancy overalls that I just bought. Whatever, I'll sell them later. Oh yeah, speaking of enemies dropping items, there are a couple of trophies in this game on the trophy list if you're looking for platinum or 1,000 to 1,000th out. Did this come out on the Xbox? I don't even remember. But if you're looking for a 100% run, there's a couple of items toward the end of the game that you're going to have to keep an eye out for, because the only way to get them is to fight enemies for them. And I'll point those enemies out as we progress through the game. Most of them you're not going to start seeing until the middle to end of the game, but there's a couple that are special because they only show up in one place. Really? Whip's always been probably my favorite weapon in this game. It's hard, versatile. You know, I'm starting to realize that most of the reason that I'm salty about some of the music choices in this game for the remaster is they use the wrong instruments for certain things. Or at least it feels like they use the wrong instruments for things. Like they have an accordion for the melody here, but in the original it was more of a flute, more chocolate. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got turned around. I don't even remember where I'm going anymore. Oh my god, I hate confusion so much. Stop, please. Confusion makes my soul hurt in this game. Oh my god, I did get turned around. I'm going the wrong freaking way. Alrighty. That's embarrassing. Screw the enemies. I am ashamed of myself for getting turned around in here. This is one of the few games that I know like the back of my hand in most cases, and yeah, that happened. she's doing something. Oh, wait. That's another thing. It's specific spells that actually do what needs to be done in this game. So, for example, in order to make the rock fall, you have to use Earth Slide. Oh my god. Stop, please, it hurts. So long. Yes, I love confusion. It's my favorite status affliction. Too bad it doesn't work on enemies. Or at least not in the same way. Oh, hello, boss. This thing is so much smaller on this version of the game compared to what it looks like on the Super NES.
Remedy.
This boss also seems very benign by comparison to how it used to be. Or it may just be the weapons that we're using. Yeah, probably just the weapons. Good night. And at the inner sanctum of this forest in a cave down below, we find... Oh, that's adorable.
This is the legendary white dragon? Oh, no. Its parents must not have survived that monster from earlier.
We can't just leave it here. It won't make it on its own.
But it's too big for us to carry around, and this one's just a baby. We should ask Truffle what to do.
He'll only slow you down. Don't worry, I'll raise him for you.
King Truffle!
I've made up my mind. You three have stuff to do, right? Leave the rest to me. Stop by if you get the chance and say hi to the little fella. By the way, how do you like the name Flammy? Hang on. No point in asking. You would agree with me just to be polite, even if you hated the name, right? It's settled. We'll call him Flammy. Cannon travel is open again south of the forest. Visit the Fire Palace in the Kakara Desert. If you're on the search for palaces, that's the closest one. Good luck.
Well, I guess we know where we're going.
Took your time, huh?
Yeah, Upperland's a pretty short area, so we don't have to hang around here too long. Sword's starting to look a little mighty there. See, this is another name that they changed from the original too. It never, Orichalcum Blade never used to be a weapon in the original. Let's see. What was it called? What was it called? It's, yeah, that's part of the reason that I'm playing this, is to showcase some of the differences between this and the original. I will do a stream of a full playthrough of the original just for juxtaposition, but
one night is...
I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. That's the thing that really gets me about it. And I mean, you'd think that Secret of Mana would be an easy go, but they kind of, it feels like they half-assed it almost. Sad thing is, I've already gone through the game once and platinumed it, so it's not like it's not like I hated it enough to be completely put off, just slightly. Alright, so King Truffle has given us a new direction in life. It's time to go to the Kakara Desert, because there's a palace there. So let's go have a look-see at that palace in the Kakara Desert. Oh, cool. For whatever reason, I never really got into many of the digital card games. Don't really know why, but... Should be cannon travel.
Hey, hey! Welcome, welcome. It's 50 GP per trip.
Now, I know King Truffle told us to go to the Kakara Desert. But there's this ice country place over here. Let's just make one big trip out of it. I don't like bouncing.
If you say so, be sure to bundle up. Just pop yourself into the barrel.
And of course, because we are intrepid adventurers, we need to go visit the item store.
Welcome.
And I know it feels like I just bought equipment, but... I mean, I did. Now notice I'm never really too broken up about buying equipment, and that's because I'm trying to keep to that rule that I told you guys about at the beginning. Just fight everything that you run into. You'll never be short of money if you just fight everything you run into. And the armor is the biggest reason to do that. Those arrows weren't there before. Those arrows weren't there before to tell you which gear was better.
Anything else? Come again.
Hey, what's up, Salty Beard? I don't know if you want me to use your real name on stream, but I'll ask first to be polite.
One night is 50.
That's a cute little doll back there.
Wow, hard to think that I didn't know about the mana seeds up until now. And that there are bad people in the world trying to use them for their own nefarious purposes. I think I'm finally starting to understand how important these seeds are.
I was just tagging along, but I'm going to see this whole thing through. If Dialek were here, he'd protect the mana seeds too.
We gotta step up and stop wrongdoing when we see it. I don't know if that'll save the world, but it's a start.
If everybody thought that way, this world would be a better place.
You're getting more responsible by the day. I'm impressed.
You think?
Not by much, but at least you're not whimpering at the sight of goblins anymore.
Are you still going on about that?
Huh. Well, better get a move on. There's still Dialek and Pamela to save after all.
Guys, I've been thinking. Maybe people aren't stealing the mana seeds to eat them.
You're the only one thinking about eating mana seeds.
Yeah, he's a little weirdo. And since it's been a while since I've been in a proper inn...
One night is 50.
Scorpion Army. Scorpion? army. How'd those losers end up with a cool name like Scorpion Army anyway?
You think it's cool?
I got it! We should give our group a name too!
I vote no.
I guess I don't mind, as long as it's cool.
Hear that, sis? Bro's on the same wavelength.
What name were you thinking?
Duh! The Sprite Army!
No.
No way, no how, nuh-uh. Why would we be a part of a sprite army?
Aw, come on!
Next.
Fine. How about the Bossy Witch Army? Like that one?
No. If anything, it should be the Radiant Magician Army, or maybe Pure Maiden Party.
I didn't expect her to be so picky.
I like Brave Swordsman Brigade.
Enough! This is dumb.
I guess we'll just have to stick with the boss and their dumb underlings.
Since when are we called that?
It's a complete waste of money. It's a complete waste of money, but I don't care. I wonder if they got the idea to do this from what they did in Final Fantasy VI with Shadow, because that was a thing back in the day for Square as well. But in any case, it's nice that they added something to the game to kind of open up the characters.
Nothing beats cannon travel.
What's up?
Just remembering the thrill of being shot straight into the air. I could get used to that.
It is fun, huh?
Can we go back to the cannons again tomorrow? Can we?
Sure, if it's on the way.
There's no need to use cannon travel all the time. We should save money when we can.
She's got a point.
Aw, spoil sport. Do you have something against cannons?
No. And I'm definitely not afraid of them, if that's what you mean.
Oh, prove it. Let's go for a cannon ride tomorrow.
Fine. I'll go anywhere you pick.
Great, it's settled. Something wrong, bro?
What about the money?
My pride is more important than money. What are we waiting for?
Uh-oh. I awoke the witch within.
Will you quit calling me a witch? Let's get some rest.
I wonder if we can get Gemma to pay our way again.
It's the one song in the game they didn't change at all. Then again, I suppose there's really no reason to.
One night is 50.
What sort of place is Sprite Village?
It's great. I mean, I only just got my memory back, but I'm pretty sure it's great.
You'll be home before you know it. Just a little farther.
You always know what to say, bro. Thanks.
You're not usually so sincere.
It's like seeing snow in the summer.
There's snow year-round in the forest near my home, you know?
Don't be so pedantic.
So what's gonna happen once we arrive? Are you planning on leaving the group?
It'd be a lot quieter around here.
I don't know. As your boss, I'm not sure if you'll be okay without me to look after you.
Thanks for your concern.
We can always decide once we get there. First things first, we need to keep going.
Yeah, I hope everyone at home is okay.
I'm sure they're fine.
Definitely.
Thanks, guys. I mean it.
One night is 50.
You know, one thing that probably would have been interesting would be to keep a running
Forest
total
of Seasons is amazing.
of how much money I end up spending on watching cutscenes.
I know. I think it's the forest's fault I'm always hungry.
Wait, what would a forest have to do with your appetite?
The forest is sectioned off into the 4 seasons, right?
Aha.
Winter fish runs, spring fruit picking, and all the summer and fall harvests in between. We've got it all.
Little guy's got a point.
Ugh, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
I'm getting hungry just hearing about it.
Good.
Now is not the time for this.
You're right.
One night is 50 GP.
So you've regained all your memories?
Pretty much.
What was it like to live in the village? Did you have a happy childhood?
Yeah. Did you always have an attitude? Or was it because of the memory loss?
Ouch! That hurts my ego. I've always been known as a kind and caring sprite, thank you.
Says who?
When the villagers were off in the forest collecting herbs, I found a special one and took it to Grandpa. He told me it was a rare medicinal plant, so I figured he wanted it.
Sounds like you had the village's interests at heart, especially if you took it straight to your grandpa.
Is that the whole story? Did you end up giving it to him?
He wouldn't take it.
What? Why?
Probably because I charged him for it. It was a rare plant after all.
You charged your own grandfather money for a weed?
Hey, it was compensation. A finder's fee for discovering it in the first place.
Guess the amnesia didn't change you at all.
Oh my god, how many more of these are there?
One night is 50.
Watch out for mushbooms. Their spores clog the air and make it hard to breathe.
Too true. I've had lots of run-ins with mushbooms.
Makes me wonder why the Matango branch of the family smells so sweet. This whole country is fragrant.
Yeah, the smell kind of makes me hungry.
Weird, but I think I get where you're coming from.
Oh, you guys too?
You agree?
It smells like savory mushrooms getting roasted on hot coals. Now I can't stop thinking about it.
Same here.
Hey, do you think the Matango people would...
Stop. Don't go there. We're getting into dangerous territory as it is.
Yeah.
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 Just enjoy the fragrance while it lasts.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal in some way. I mean, they're people, right? Right? Alright, should be just one
is
more.
50 GP.
Excuse me.
That was the first time I'd seen a dragon, even a baby one.
Me too. Did you get a look at his wings?
They're so white. He's got to be the prettiest dragon in the world.
Such cute eyes.
He's the best. What's wrong?
You guys haven't stopped gushing since we found that scrawny beast.
So?
You didn't gush at all when you found me in the dwarf village. I'm pretty one of a kind too, wouldn't you say?
Jealous much?
Well, yeah, we did find you in a shoddy sideshow.
And then you tried to cheat us out of our money.
That cute little dragon would never do something like that.
Be that way.
No. I'm kind of surprised there wasn't a trophy for viewing all these little
One night is 50
cutscenes.
You know those Cannon Travel brothers, right?
Yes, they operate the Cannon Travel Network. What about them?
Do they have installations everywhere?
Yeah, it's a convenient mode of transportation after all.
Sure, it's convenient, but are those guys really brothers?
Pretty sure I heard them mention specifically that they were brothers.
But aren't they a little too alike? Every single one has the same face.
You know, every one of them wears the same outfit, and their hairstyles match too. Is there a difference?
Nope. In fact, I don't think they're brothers at all. I think they're all the same person.
You think so?
Wait, it makes sense. Have you ever seen more than one of them in the same place?
Right? If they're family, you'd think you'd see them interacting at some point.
What are these Cannon Travel brothers?
Something tells me that we shouldn't question it any further.
Who knows what creepy things we might uncover?
Okay, I got it. I shouldn't have asked. Oh, I got shivers down my spine.
The Cannon Travel brothers. Will their mystery ever be solved?
Not until you release Secret of Mana 2. I think there's one more.
One night is 50.
Oh no. Yep, that's it. Okay, now that we're finally caught up. Alright, so why are we in Ice Country, you ask? Well, this is the first time in the game that the path kind of diverges a little bit and gives you a little freedom to explore at your leisure. I usually go to Ice Country first because it saves me a return trip here. It saves me a return trip to Kakara later. And I'm all about economy. So.
What kept you? I've been freezing my ears off. You need help with your weapons?
I think I took care of everything before we left. So, out into Ice Country, which, by the way, ends up being probably my favorite spot to mass level to the end of the game. Oh, here's another song that they absolutely did not screw up when they did the remaster. It's just as somber as the original, if not more so. But for every plus I give this game, I end up having to give it a minus because the wolves don't howl. And that was one of the things that always made this area seem so much more desolate, was the wolves would howl at you. So it would sound like, you know, things going on in the distance, which you don't get anymore. It's kind of a shame, really. Missed opportunity. Oh no, she's still got a level to go on that. But yeah, this song was originally called A Wish? Yeah. And I think this version of this song is better than the original by Leeds. And there are a couple of really standout gems among the remaster's soundtrack, and this would definitely be one of them. The Palace theme would also be another one because, like I said, it's a mixture of the original game's music and a track from Secret of Mana 2. And I went and looked it up. That track is called Ancient Dolphin. But anyway, back to talking about Ice Country. The reason that this ends up being my favorite leveling spot is because the wolves are plentiful in the area right outside town, and they're worth a decent amount of money, especially if you're killing them in bulk. So you have a giant amount of enemies all in a pretty tightly confined spot, and they make perfect targets for leveling up weapons and magic. Oh lord, excuse me.
Help! Help me, please! My master is gone! Gone! They're all gone! That monster is the only thing in the Ice Palace. I think the monster's got my master! Help me!
And I know I haven't been paying as much attention as I wanted to originally to the paintings on the wall. But there's a couple of them coming up that I want to point out because they're relevant to the rest of the wider series. Oh yeah, by the way, anybody who's watching the chat, or anybody who's watching the stream, if you have friends that enjoy JRPGs, old school stuff, feel free to shoot them a link to my my Twitter and a link to my Twitch, because I mean I'll stream and I'll even take requests. I'll stream just about anything you want, whether I've played it or not. But especially for the old school stuff, I have a lot of accumulated knowledge over the years from having played them so much and loving the games the way I do. So. Remind me to turn off notifications for the next time I do this. Oh, hey, new enemy. I forget what these guys are called. Shell Blast. They're another enemy that feels relatively toothless by comparison to how powerful they were originally. Because their hitboxes are a lot more narrow. And their attacks don't come off quite as quickly. You know what this song really reminds me of, if any of you have ever played it? Metroid Prime. Fendara Drifts is kind of what this reminds me of. Or, no, not Fendara Drifts. The Underwater Frigate is kind of what this reminds me of. It's got a very similar theme to it. Oh, here's one of those enemies that I was telling you about before that you can miss and not even realize. These enemies, you can't damage with physical attacks. You have to kill them with magic. So a lot of people just kind of walk by them, not really paying them any mind, but they are part of the monster compendium. So while you're out here, just take a minute to murder one or two. That way they end up in your log.
Your turn, Gnome. Gem missile.
That's one spot filled in. They're not rare, because you can always come back to this area later on in the game. But it's just something I wanted to point out, since I know a lot of people are looking for that 100% edge. And the funny thing is, after I've killed one or two, I usually just ignore them for the rest of the game, because they're more trouble than they're worth to kill, and they're easy enough to avoid. Ow. Oh, Lord. Boss fight. How about that? By the way, Borealface doesn't really appreciate the axe. Although I've missed him with almost every opportunity I've swung at.
Take that!
Ow.
Take that! Keep it coming!
Ow. Moving slower than molasses to maintain a charge.
Take that! Keep it coming! Take that!
That's not good. That's really not good.
Take more than that!
Healing power monkey. Thanks.
A woot. Good night, you giant pineapple bastard. That's familiar music, isn't it?
Welcome to the tropics and snow country. Neat, huh?
No matter how much snow there is out there, in this place, it's always summer. Fabulous, no?
Only the most elite own a second house here. It's the fashion.
I moved here from Gold City.
I'd be willing to bet most of the people here did.
Everyone around town has deep pockets. It ain't cheap to live here. These high-class folks got bored with their typical spending and decided to spend their money in this place.
The boss's resort's a hit.
But the boss ain't got time for layabouts. Take a breather and you get canned.
You can tell a rich crowd by what they spend their money on.
No kidding, old-timer.
This second house of ours is so nice.
Cameo!
So glad my wife found this place.
Who are you? Have we met? No? Never mind. I need you to watch this stove. Just whack it every so often if it cools down. I'm counting on you.
Sure. Enjoy your coffee break.
Huh? I heard something. Should I open it?
Ooh, thanks. I'm the fire elemental, Salamando.
Use me as a heater, huh? Well, they'll get more heat than they bargained for. Need firepower? I've got you covered. Go crazy. Burn the whole place down.
Not you again! You dolts! Didn't you recognize them?
Sorry.
This was the perfect money-making scam. Now everyone's gone.
Huh? A seed from the Fire Palace? How should I know? I've had enough of mana seeds.
We saw some weird old coot when we nabbed Salamando.
What are you doing? Don't help them!
Good help is so hard to
You
find.
won't get away with this!
Bye. I promise I won't level up Salamando. Much. Oh, wait. Before we go, one more cameo. And I think this is the only place in the game that I can think of where the portrait changes, but the portrait in this house is the main characters, the main player characters from Legend of Mana. The one before, when the place was still heated up by Salamando, was the male character, and this one on the wall is the female character. Ow.
Take that! Aha! Ah!
Come, children. Well, look who it is.
So cold. What can I do for you? What do you mean?
And if you ever needed a place to resupply, this would be it before the next bit that
Anything
we're going
else?
through.
Be seeing you.
I don't usually save out here, but as I mentioned, this version of the game can be kind of twitchy, so I'm trying to play it safe. Anyway. No, ignore them, please. We have bigger fish to fry. Wolves. Here's another place that, oh, whoa, 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 what just happened? Yeah, that didn't just happen. I don't know that I like it better than the original, but it's another one that I wasn't unhappy with. Another very somber theme for the game that you don't really hear all that many times as you go through it. And for reference, since this is the first time you've seen them, I actually did let it hit me intentionally. The different colored drops all have special abilities. Green drops don't. Actually, no, green drops do too. They poison. Blue drops can freeze you, turn you into snowmen. Red drops, which we'll see later, can set you on fire. I would almost say the red drops are more dangerous because you can still take damage while you're on fire. Whereas if you're a snowman, you can't. You're basically just frozen for a bit. Oh my god. Let's just not do this. Oh, here's another enemy that you're only going to see a handful of times in the game. Same rules apply. Kill them once and then you can ignore them. At least until the ones you find later. And they usually don't even have a lot of HP. Usually. I love how I said earlier that I wasn't trying to go for a perfect run, and yet here I am exposing everything in the game. No biggie.
Keep it coming!
Try to stop me!
Keep it coming!
Oh, okay. That's another thing that they changed, actually, is once upon a time stepping on switches would reset your charge. It doesn't anymore. Oh, and here's another enemy that they changed. I don't necessarily know if it's for the better or the worse, or if it matters, because it really doesn't. But you see how the books flap open like that? Well, one of the things that the books do, one of their idle animations, is they'll well, I'm trying to see if I can bait one of them into doing it. No? Okay. Well, one of their idle animations is to just flip themselves open to a random page, and they have different things in the book. One of those things that's in the book is a picture of a scantily clad lady. She's not naked, she's just in a bikini in the Super NES version, but as long as I spent playing this, I never saw any of the books do it. So I'm thinking that they may have just taken that animation out. Guys, where are you? Hey, we're stuck in the library. Haunted library. With books that can fly.
Try to stop me!
Looks like that lucid barrier wore off. Time to die. Why are there always trapdoors everywhere? This looks awfully familiar, doesn't it? You want to know the fun part? As long as you bought the armor for this area, they should not be able to touch you as Tonpole. So it doesn't really matter how you go through this boss fight. I'd say don't waste magic at all. You're gonna need it later if you're going through this game and relying on magic. Just lay into him. Be violent. And you do as much damage as you did before. Or actually, you do more damage than you did before when you fought this boss fight. Only difference now is you can't be hurt by Tonpole. Blech. See? So this boss fight literally represents no threat to you other than to be here. I completely forgot that these guys were down here until I got here. It just becomes annoying because all they want to do is keep eating you the whole fight. Blech. So just pick one, focus on it, and they'll die eventually. Blech. Not today. That's not going to save you. So anyway, I have no idea how we climbed out of that gaping chasm, but the floor's fixed and there's a hole here now, so let's keep going. Now, it's interesting to note that this isn't a palace. This is just a fortress out in the middle of the snowfield. Based on some of the lore from the game, I almost want to posit that this castle used to be from the Altinian castle, but there's no real proof behind that, other than it's in the snowfield and it's the only thing that's out here, besides Toto Village. But that's some stuff that I'll get into when I start doing my Secret of Mana 2 video. Is world lore and history and how certain places relate to other places. That doesn't look ominous at all. These enemies are as old as fiction at this point. Gazers, beholders, all that goes back to D&D. Probably even further than that, but I'd have to go research the origins of the legend.
Begone!
No.
children. You must be taught a lesson. Come.
And welcome to the party, Frost Gygus. He's just like Fire Gygus, does most of the same stuff. Only difference is he's ice. We do actually have a thing for that, but I haven't leveled that thing for that up, so now would probably be a good time to at least test him out. Oh, and this boss actually introduces a mechanic that a lot of games don't really seem to take advantage of as much as they could, but this one does. Oh, no. I totally didn't mean to do that. This boss casts Ice Saber, so that you can't actually attack him. The natural counter to that, of course, is to cast Fire Saber. Flame Saber, sorry. Because otherwise, you would be doing 0 damage to him. At least until his level 6 Flame Saber wears off. Salamando isn't doing a ton of damage, and I'm fine with that. It's just an excuse for me to burn some MP and level up Salamando a bit.
Come, Salamando! Flame Saber! Get him, Salamando! Fireball! Get him, Salamando! Fireball!
And that's that. Good night, Tall, Dark, and Ugly.
What are you?
Master Claus, are you all right?
Yes, Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer do make appearances in Secret of Mana.
Oh, Rudolph. Sorry to have worried you. I'm fine now. It was me. I became a Frost Gigas. Lately, the little kids no longer believe in me. It's the fading mana. Without it, children will continue to lose their fanciful hopes. I wanted to bring back their innocent dreams, no matter what the cost. Then I heard that mana trees grow at an alarmingly fast rate. I set off to find a mana seed, thinking I could grow a huge mana Christmas tree in no time. But the mana power in the seed was too much for my body to handle. It turned me into that monster. One must take care never to abuse mana, or else they'll face the consequences. I apologize for all the fuss. Here, you need this fire seed, correct?
And Santa ninpos us out of the Ice Palace, which no longer has anything of use in it. Not even enemies, nothing. Oh, actually, no, I think there's still... Were there still enemies in here afterward? No, yeah, I think they're all gone. See what I mean about Flame Saber, though? You can still attack the enemies even when they're on fire, taking continual damage. Flame Saber is very dangerous. Lightning Saber isn't really as dangerous because it doesn't have an associated effect as far as I know. Lightning Saber is just damage to Earth-based enemies. Extra damage to Earth-based enemies. Let's see, what else? Ice Saber will turn... Ice Saber does do extra damage on the initial hit, but it's not like Flame Saber where you can continue to attack the enemies afterward. So to me it's not quite as useful. But I'll still use it on occasion if I run into an enemy who's very, very weak to it. Let's see, what other sabers are there? Darkness Saber is the same way when you get that later on in the game. Same thing with Light Saber. And no, it's not Holy Saber, it's Light Saber. Although I think it may be called Holy Saber, but it's actually Holy Saber in all the other games too, but no. But it doesn't have an associated effect like the elemental ones. It's just additional damage to enemies that are weak to it. The only other one that has a bonus effect would be Moon Saber. And Moon Saber is kind of unique because it's the only HP rasp that the main character can get over the course of the game by proxy. Prim can cast Moon Saber on the entire party, and it's an easy way to keep yourself topped off HP-wise as you travel. So, something to keep in mind. It's useful. Ow. Oh. Stop playing around with that cloud. Let's go. Are you kidding me? She actually died from that. Wow. That's another thing that's irritating about this version of the God Almighty of the game is in the older versions, magic was instant, and you could actually use it to save yourself in instances like that, whereas in this game you cannot.
Water. Cure water.
Thanks.
Her Cure Water officially does more restorative to a single target than the strongest healing item in the game. Alright, screw this. We're getting our ass handed to us. Not there yet. Finally. Wow, I feel like an idiot. Oh, this hasn't been upgraded yet, so get the boomerang for now.
Oh, thank you.
I must return to bringing joy and cheer to the children of the world. Ho, 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 ho.
Oh, since I wasted a few cups of wishes earlier.
Welcome.
Now, remember when I got here I had about 20,000 gold? Just from doing what I was telling you guys before, I've basically doubled and then some my my cash count.
Anything else?
And again, that becomes really important as the game goes on, because when you get right to the end, there's one last spot where you're going to have to buy some really pricey armor, and even with what I'm doing, it can be enough to completely bankrupt you.
One night is 50.
Oh, we haven't passed the cutscene point yet. Now let's go visit Watts and get ourselves...
Phew! What kept you? I've been freezing. One night is 50 GP.
Did they rescale all the weapons from before? It feels like they did. Because I remember remarking before that the gloves in particular felt insanely huge in the character's hands, and now they don't seem as massive. I probably have a screenshot somewhere. I'll post it later to show the difference. I've noticed there have been a few patches since the game's come out. Even before I started playing this evening, one was installing as I booted up my PS4. So I'm sure that they've made some minor or possibly not so minor tweaks to the game in the time that it's been out. And a graphical adjustment wouldn't really surprise me given how noticeable it was even to me. Especially to me, I should say. Like I said, most of that money is from fighting the Howlers here, because for such an easy enemy to kill, they are worth an absolute ton of loot, comparatively.
There. Welcome, welcome. It's 50 GP per trip. What'll it be?
And now that we've completed a side quest that's all of my own making, how about we get back to the actual task at hand and go to Kakara like we were originally told?
Oops, not enough gunpowder for that. Matango's my limit for now. Hey
fair
there.
Enough.
Welcome, Matango. Sure thing. Just pop yourself into the barrel. Hey, welcome to the desert, huh?
I'm not too sure about this, but we'll give it a try. Just pop yourself into the barrel.
Here's another song that I don't think they fudged up too bad.
Look, there's sand everywhere.
It's so barren.
Let's find a town before we shrivel up.
New enemy. But since we're already equipped to be here, they're not going to be that much of a big deal. Because if you would come to Kakara first, you'd still be wearing Matango armor, and Matango armor isn't exactly going to protect you from these guys in the same way that Ice Country Kakara armor would. So it takes a little bit of the edge off having to walk around the desert, especially when you first get here. One thing I kind of wonder is, as big as the desert in this game is, you only visit a very small portion of it. And in Secret of Mana 2, the desert is much, much bigger. So I kind of wonder if those places that you don't visit in the desert are where some of the events in the previous game occurred. And I'm not talking about the endgame stuff like Glass Desert, because Glass Desert was on a completely different continent. But, like the home of the Navarre Ninjas Guild and some of those towns out there. And I want to say the, I don't remember the name of the boss, but it's one of the Mana Beasts that's out there. Oh, another new enemy. Crazy Halloween pumpkins, and another new enemy. Oh god. Get it away from me, please. Yes, it is a giant trapdoor spider. Because what game would be complete without a giant trapdoor spider that casts Earth Slide? Ow. But yeah, like everything else, make sure you kill at least one. No, you don't want to mess with the trapdoor spider? Okay.
Water. Pure water. Base.
Alright, I am legit going around in circles.
really shrivel up.
Hey, look over there. Let's check it out.
A ship? Oh, let's hop aboard! That was close.
You there?
Still don't
What are you
like
doing
what they
out
did
here
with
on this
this song.
sand ship? Only Imperial spies can be so...
Who are you calling stupid?
What are you doing?
Sir, we picked up some spies, sir.
Wait a moment. There's a possibility they were simply lost in the desert.
Yes!
We'd almost given up.
I see. I'll help you, stranger. But in return, you'll have to work off your debt.
You'll work in the engine room, the shrimp will take kitchen duty, and the lady comes with me. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't you hear what I said? Move!
Get to work!
You were picked up in the desert too? I wonder what will happen to us.
Admiral Neria of Tasnica is in command, but his grandson Mori calls the shots. If he doesn't like the look of you, you'll end up dumped in a sand dune.
This sand ship is the Republic's secret weapon. We're protecting the Fire Palace from the Empire. Get to work. There she blows! The new crewman or something? I'm Sergo, pirate extraordinaire and scourge of the seas. At least I used to be. The ocean's not calm enough these days to make a living pillaging and plundering. But I can't forget the feel of the waves and the salt spray in the air. That's why I stowed away on this ship. I'll be back on the high seas someday. Mark my words. Someday. Huh? You have friends waiting, and you want to escape. Leave it to me. Talk to those guards by the stairs. I'll take care of the rest. You, get back to your post. Help! Fire! Fire! What? Out of my way!
Yeah.
Where's the fire? Where's the fire?
I don't know. Why don't you guys go figure that out? I got places to go. Oh, please. There's some weirdly advanced technology in this game for it being effectively medieval.
Nothing to report. Care to make a log entry?
Hey, quit that lollygag!
What do you think? Basically paradise, huh?
All the food in the hold's been devoured! You a friend of theirs? Get him out of here!
No thanks. Couldn't
But...
eat another bite.
All the food in the hold's been devoured! You a friend of theirs? Get him out of here!
Oh, leave it to the sprite to cause nothing but trouble everywhere he goes. Well, that leaves the one person that's hardest to find.
Oh no! Rats have eaten all the food in the galley.
It can't be.
Rats, huh?
Massage my shoulders. Chuck, chuck.
You wish. I'd rather eat sand.
Spoiled brat.
You want some? Come and get it.
And she would, too.
Maury, stop the ridiculousness now.
But Gramps, she disobeyed my...
No more pathetic excuses, Maury. You there, get out.
Don't have to tell me twice. Am I glad to see you guys? Have you heard this creep?
They've escaped. Now what do we do, Gramps?
Oh, escapees. Grab them.
Oh, balls.
Whoa, what?
It's the Empire. They're attacking.
Ah! No, I don't want to die. Let's surrender.
Idiot. You call yourself a soldier? Men, to your battle station.
No way! We're with Maury. Let's get out of here.
Man, you guys suck.
Surrender! Surrender! Drat!
Surrender. Okay.
Surrender. Drat!
What a coincidence. I didn't think I'd see you here. Thanatos' emissary warned me about a group of meddlesome travelers. He must have meant you.
Shall we go for a round?
Bring it on, big boy. Oh, God.
Let's speed things up.
Gestar always was an interesting adversary. Ow.
Let's speed things up. You can't escape.
No way!
Ow.
Let's speed things up.
That's another interesting thing is he actually moves you when he races past in this. Because they're physical objects.
You can't escape. You can't escape.
Man, he really doesn't like friends.
You can't escape. Let's speed things up.
Ow.
I can't.
You fellas are a hoot. Look me up if you're interested.
No! My beautiful ship!
Have you no shame? If it wasn't for our passengers, we would have been goners. We owe them a debt. What? You know Gemma? But that means you're heroes. I apologize for my grandson's foolish actions. He'll get what's coming to him. I'd almost forgotten how true soldiers are meant to behave. Thank you for reminding me. If it wasn't for our... What? Heroes. I'd almost...
Go north from here and you'll find the Oasis Kingdom known as Kakara. West of that is the Fire Palace. Admiral Maria is back to his old self. Our country is sending a rescue team. Are you leaving? Go north of here, and you'll find the Oasis Kingdom known as Kakara. West of that is the Fire Palace.
They cracked me up.
Welcome. What'll it be?
But as you can see, we have all the same equipment as before.
Anything else? Come again.
You've brought back the Mana Seed. How can we ever thank you enough? You've brought back...
Fairy Walnut? Are you trying to make fun of me? Give me a break. Oh, wait. You were talking about the Mana Seed. My mistake. You're going to return the seed? Oh, that is helpful indeed. Watch out for monster nests while you're out there.
I'm about to pass out from this heat. I'll try not to melt before I upgrade your weapon. I've been waiting. Which weapon is ready for reforging?
Alright, let's take a nap, and then we'll head to the Fire Palace.
One night is 50 GP.
Still no cutscene. And so, since we already have the Mana Seed acquired from Ice Country, we can head straight for the Fire Palace and bypass having to go backwards to go forwards, as it were. So let's take a little trip to the west and pay a visit to... Oh my god. These are one of those enemies that I was telling you about that became super, super dangerous in the remaster. I don't know why, but something about the way that they attack now just makes them really incredibly hazardous to your health. I guess you can remember that for a while longer. Mad Mallard's square lipstick. That feeling when a path is clearly booby-trapped. I love it when you drop rocks on me. It makes me feel like you love me or something. Level 4 charge. Okay, guys. Okay, calm down. Okay, guys, calm down. You know, I just noticed that my bindings got reset somehow.
Pure water.
Oh my god.
Thanks.
But yeah, you see what I mean about the magic? The damage just queues up now as opposed to being superseded by something. Cure Water used to be able to completely negate damage, now it just gets in the queue and stacks afterward. Ow. What are these guys called? Robin Hoods? Robin Foot.
Whoa! No way we're getting past those flames.
Or wait.
Whoa!
And here's another one of those enemies that you need to kill once. These are different from the ones in the Ice Palace.
Ugh, the flames are too strong for Freeze to blow them out.
Fight fire with fire.
All right, we blew the fire out.
Now remember what I said about the fire ones. Very easy way to become deadified in this game is to get too close to a fire, fire slime. Tried to warn you. Ah! Oh god, it's hot. Guys.
Keep it coming. Aha! Keep it coming. Take that. Keep it coming.
Oh god, oh god!
Heal power of Undine! Cure water! Base!
Keep it coming. Aha!
I honestly don't remember.
Analyzer!
Aha! Aha!
Now, in the event that anybody had missed what's it called, weapon orbs earlier in the game, because there were a couple of them that you could have walked by and not noticed. Those chests usually end up containing weapon orbs, if I remember right. Or actually, no. Those are supposed to be money. The ones that contain weapon orbs will show up multiple times if you missed one. Like, there's one in this palace that's supposed to have a weapon orb in it. Right in here. Yeah, those two were just money. This one's a weapon orb. Not that one. This one. So make sure you don't leave that behind because you don't want to miss weapon orbs, if only for the trophy. Oh, Lord.
Keep it coming!
Guys.
Keep it coming!
Ow. Anybody out there still watching me? Chat's awfully quiet. It's lonely in here. Oh, hello, gear check. Ow.
Takes more than that.
Three guesses which spell this guy would be weak to. Uh-oh, he's angry. Oh god, he's angry. Hey, get off her. Hey, there's people over here, jack off. That's right, lay off her. Come run us over. Stop it. Oh god! He broke me like Bane.
Takes more than that.
Would you please stop plowing me?
Takes more than that.
Over. Mister, I'm invincible when I do my charge attack. Frick.
Gotta synchronize with the seed.
And that makes 4 mana orbs, which means our magic can all go up 1 level. And since I really don't feel like walking all the way back out of this place, I'll use the magic rope, and poof. Now then, palace is clear, balance is restored to the area, monsters are all gone, so it's an actual palace again. Of course, we're not leaving Salamando here because, you know, he has better things to do with his time. So we're just gonna trek on back to the village or the desert oasis. Go tell the mayor what we did. I'm sorry, King Amar. It's King Amar.
Healing power of Undine. Come on, Undine. Cure water. Thanks.
Water. I need water.
I'm sorry, little boy.
You brought the fire seed back to the palace. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Wait. Why is the oasis still dry?
Wasn't the seed supposed to fix our water problem? Oh, if only we had a sea hare's tail. That would fix these dry wells in a jiffy.
That sounds like a side quest if ever I heard one.
Without one, this realm is finished. Do you know where we could find one?
Oasis? What oasis? All our wells have run dry. This is the end.
I'm about to pass out from it. I've been waiting. Which weapon is ready for reforging?
Now again, take a look at my my money. I got here with about 45. I'm leaving with 64. I promise it'll become important, and I'm going to show you soon why. Axe, javelin, keep the weapons up to date. Let's go sleep and save.
One night is 50 GP.
Hey, cutscene.
Why is there so much sand in the desert? My shoes had more sand than feet in them.
Remind me never to visit a desert again. All the moisture in my hair and skin is gone.
That's what you're worried about?
Skincare aside, it's impossible to sleep with so much riding on our shoulders.
You were snoring last night.
What was that?
Nothing.
All this desert talk is making my throat bone dry.
Ugh, I hate the gritty feeling of sand in my mouth.
Water! I need water!
What do you need of me?
I'm thirsty.
You're using magic for that?
Understood. Here you are.
I guess Undine's okay with it.
I'm sure there's something to be said for abusing your privileges, but somehow in this case I think it's almost justified. Granted, you should make water for everybody in town if you're going to do that, but we're heroes and we run a tight schedule, so that's going to have to wait. So, now that we've dealt with everything in the Kakara Desert, as we were instructed to do, what else is there?
Oasis.
I don't know, what else is there?
Welcome to...
Shut up. Well, there's a cannon travel over here. Let's see if there's anywhere else for us to go.
Hello, hello! Welcome, welcome!
Uh-oh.
It's 50
Uh-oh.
GP per
Look
trip.
where we're going. I have a sinking suspicion that we have come to the end of our stream, because the Empire is the next goal that we're going to tackle. I think I'm going to end it here, because this is where I intended to end it in the first place. I'm actually a little ahead of my schedule, since I meant to stream until about 11. But, let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 hours is good for this leg of the journey. We covered all of Upperland, we covered Ice Country, and we covered the Kakara Desert in its entirety, at least what we can get to for now. So I'm going to end the stream here. I'll bid you guys farewell. It's been a pleasure as always. My name's Alan, All0. Feel free to throw me a follow, like, share, subscribe, whatever you guys do on Facebook these days. And I will be back for our next chapter, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday? We'll see. Keep an eye on my Twitter. That's usually where I blast out when I'm going to be streaming next. So until, adieu and enjoy your gaming.